Ding dong. What's up? For those of you who don't know me, I'm Ethan. For those of you who do know me, hell yeah. Anyways, welcome back. If you've been watching consistently, I really appreciate you. I appreciate every one of you that's been watching consistently and that's been subscribing and contributing to this whatever this journey, I suppose. It's been really surreal. It still is really surreal. There are moments where some of you will reach out to me or leave comments and it doesn't feel real sometimes. So I'm very thankful. I'm very grateful. I'm very appreciative. I know I was already saying all of this in my most recent video, but that was genuinely like 12 hours ago that I shot that. I was half asleep. I barely remember what I was even saying, if I'm being honest. I had just come off of like a 12, 13-hour shift, something like that. Been working a lot, like I said. So it's been a little bit of a transition trying to incorporate these daily videos while juggling my currently fairly intense work life. But I think I've figured it out. So I'm going to continue to be consistent. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. But yeah, with that being said, with that out of the way, just going to get right into it. So I suppose with the topic of consistency being brought up, that's what I'm going to talk about today. Consistency. Because at the end of the day, it's everything, right? Doesn't matter if you're being consistent through discipline or through motivation or whatever, what have you. All that matters is that you're being consistent, that you're showing up every single day, no matter how hard it is. Because, like I said last night, it's been incredibly rough for me. I've had a pretty awful past couple of weeks, and I was at a point where I felt like my life was spiraling a little bit, where I was losing control a little bit, whatever, what have you. But the main thing, the key thing is that regardless of whatever was going on, regardless of whatever I was feeling or experiencing, I continued to try to show up for myself in whatever ways I could. I continued to try to take care of myself in whatever ways I could. Obviously, some days it's different than others. There are going to be days where you're going to try to show up for yourself the way you did yesterday and you won't be able to, and you're going to beat yourself up about it, but you shouldn't. Because what matters is that you tried. You tried to show up for yourself. And if you got anything done for yourself, then that's what matters. That's what counts. You shouldn't beat yourself up because, I wasn't able to do as much as I did yesterday. I wasn't able to do this, and this. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you tried and that you got anything done, Even days where you decide, I can't do anything today, I'm just going to rest. In a way that is still you showing up for yourself. Because we all need rest. To deny yourself of that, especially in those moments where you're feeling particularly weak or anxious or sad, it's counterproductive. You shouldn't force yourself too hard. You're still a person. You still are a physical being. Our bodies can only handle so much. Our minds can only handle so much. So, yes, try to be as intense and consistent as possible, but of the same coin, understand that you are deserving of rest, of a break, of a moment to yourself. Because I feel like that's what a lot of us struggle with. It's something I struggle with a lot. Again, I don't allow myself to take breaks. And I think that's the part that I need to figure out a little bit more. The part that I struggle with the most is that I will be consistent, but I don't give myself breaks. I don't give myself time to rest. And chances are, more likely than not, that's going to be the thing that puts me in the grave early, you know? I'm aware of that. But I'm still figuring it out, I guess. I just never really liked to sleep, never really liked being unproductive or laying around or sitting around. That's what I struggle with. It's kind of, you know, in its own right, a problem. Because, you know, on the outside, people see it as like, oh, he's extremely dedicated, he's extremely hardworking, his work ethic is insane. But on the inside, it's kind of like, I'm dying, but I can't stop. I just can't stop. And I don't know, it's this weird anxiety that comes from anytime I try to just stay still. You know, anytime I'm still for too long, anytime I'm sitting, laying down, even just standing still for too long, it makes me incredibly anxious. And it's something that I am trying to work on because, you know, I definitely can admit that I'm aware of the fact that at some point my body is not going to be able to keep up anymore. Or worse, my mind won't be able to keep up anymore. But, you know, until then, I'm just, again, trying to be as consistent as possible, trying to make sure I'm caring for myself in other ways as much as possible. And you should too. You know, everyone has their own struggles, their own issues that they're trying to overcome, that they need to work on a little bit more, and that's valid. Don't ever compare yourself to others, because the way that one person shows up for themselves is not going to be directly, you know, how you're going to be able to show up for yourself. It's not going to look the same. It's going to look different for everybody. Like I just said, you know, for some people, being more consistent means going out and doing more, being more productive. Whereas for me, being more consistent for myself, showing up for myself more, would be the inverse. You know, allowing myself to take more breaks, allowing myself more time to rest, allowing myself to have a day where I can just sit down and not do anything without feeling guilty about it, without feeling anxious about it. It's not going to be the same for everybody. It's not going to look the same for everybody. But what matters is that you figure out what it is, and then you do it. You pursue it. Because that's kind of the only way you're going to improve upon yourself in the first place. That's kind of the goal here, right? For all of us. Self-improvement, you know, becoming the best version of yourself, so on and so forth. But if you have been watching these videos and you've been following along and you've been somehow inspired by me going on these insane rants, I can't thank you enough. And I hope that you really are taking my words to heart and following along with me while we just try to be better. Because by being better people, obviously the hope is that we can make the world a better place by becoming better within ourselves. That's kind of the goal here, I guess. So thank you to everyone who's been helping me to get that message out there, everyone who's been helping me, you know, by liking, commenting, subscribing, maybe even sharing the videos. If you've been doing that, I'm just immensely grateful. But let's keep going, you know? Let's keep going. We're not going to stop. This train is going to keep on going. It's going to keep on chugging along. But I think that's it for now. Until next time. If you have any thoughts you'd like to share, you can keep them in the comments down below. If you're feeling any type of way, you maybe want someone to listen to you, maybe you just want to chat for a little bit, either way, no matter what the emotion, happy, negative, sad, angry, anxious, so on and so forth, feel free to reach out to me through any of the various links in the description below. I'll always be available 24/7, 365. I will always try to get back to you as soon as possible because you are not alone. You're never alone. And I really do hope you understand that at this point. But yeah, if no one told you today, you are beautiful, you are handsome. I love you, and I'm proud of you. Keep going. You got this. We got this. Yeah, and that's just about it. So, until next time, peace.